And so I had my mouth open like I was catching flies when I started this video. If you don't know who I am, I'm Suzanne Tidkmeyer. I used to write a column called No Longer Quivering for Pathos for nearly 10 years involving religion. So all things religious interest me, and this is one of those weird things that interests me. I'm going to have to talk about just a little bit today. Wanted to say don't bully anybody I talk about. Oh, please don't bully Gladys, whether Gladys is real or fake. Don't bully anybody, and hit that like, subscribe button if you feel like it. If not, just do what you please. So, thank you for being here. Last night, I had a friend of mine reach out to me and say, "Have you seen about Gladys Wittenberg?" And I was like, "What?" And last night, I fell down a hole reading about her. One of the things that's really interesting to me about Fundytown is that we have so many people who are just don't understand what comedy is. So I watched and looked through everything, and it reads like she's really a hardcore, sold out fundamentalist Christian worshiping Trump. That's what her Facebook page reads like. But one of my friends was saying, "Look, I'm not sure this is real." So last night I fell down that Gladys shaped hole. Gladys was actually kind of funny for me because one of the things that there is a Facebook group called Gladys Wittenberg Will Save Us from the Rapture, where they're talking about her and making fun of her. Now, the only reason that I started looking at Gladys, besides my friend, was Gladys's name was all over social media. Everybody was talking about it and taking her seriously. But as I did a really deep dive, I'm not entirely sure that Gladys is on the level. Why? Her likes. One of the things she likes is a gentleman's club with scantily clad female entertainers. What I know about Christian, female Christian pastors, particularly of the very conservative variety, is this would so not be their favorite thing, not at all. And it's funny to me to look here in the camera and see what colors the camera is picking up in my clothing. This looks lavender. It's pink. It's pinkety pink pink. So back to Gladys. Looking at Gladys' timeline, Gladys says she claims to be a reverend from United Methodist Church. And it's kind of funny because she has firebombed her wall since last night when I was looking at it. Apparently, so many people have looked at it on social media that she's now in lockdown mode, which is too funny because some of it was downright comical. And when I started looking at liking the gentleman's club with the female entertainers with who were kind of sans clothing, sans culottes, without pants, and the fact that she liked a parody page too, that let me see if I can get to that because that was actually made me laugh out loud too because it was also so close to what these fundamentalist people say, but there were a couple of oh, there were only a couple of things that really stood out as kind of goofy. Australian Cross American Christian Ladies Society, that was the one. The Gentleman's Club was Anderson's Gentleman's Club. Now, most of her likes on here, like Trump, America First, All Lives Matter, Aging Gracefully, was just downright comical. Most of it seemed real, and let me get to this one that was just just made me laugh out loud. It was so crazy. Our church is pleased to announce we've sent a generous donation to Derek Zoolander's Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good. Hopefully, we can get one put up in every city because God is good. Derek Zoolander. the star of those crazy Zoolander movies about modeling. I can't even remember the names of them. But when I saw that, I just busted out laughing. That's when I realized that this page is also a parody that she likes. So I'm thinking that Gladys is actually just another parody. But here's the thing about doing a parody, any kind of parody, anything, it has to be funny. It has to actually make some sense. The Australian Cross American Christian Lady Society had some funny stuff in it. Funny, funny, funny. And it may have fooled you at first because it's a parody. It's a satire. I'm trying to find the one that was just made me laugh. It was so dirty. And I don't see it. That must have been taken down. There was one that was like was a Mother's Day post and said, let Jesus come upon you and come upon your mother. Yeah, it was so crazy, everything about it. And before she firebombed her page, I was laughing at some of the things where she was ranting about this gay relative or that evil relative. And I was just like, I hope and pray this is satire because this woman's tweets are as hateful as anything I've ever seen coming out of Funny Town. I think though, from looking at everything, it's just an unfunny satire. It's not as funny at all as the Australian Cross lady is. That person actually has a pretty good humor handle on that. That's one of the things I have learned about humor. When you're using humor, it has to be funny. It can't just be this. Let's throw everything to the wall and see what sticks. Yeah, that center for ants, I thought that was pretty funny. The center needs to be at least 3 times bigger than that. Thank you. I have a vision. Yes, it needs to be big. Ants, they got a tunnel everywhere. So I have to research this lady last night because she was all over my social media and everybody was chewing her out because they took her seriously. Sorry, I have a piece of ice in my mouth. I think that it's done funny satire. I would recommend anybody trying to get into satire to join at least a comedy group. And don't be surprised if crazy stuff happens in our fear-filled world with crazy. I remember 7 years ago, 6 years ago, one comedy group that I was part of on Facebook posted a meme about sunning your anus and how it was all these health benefits. And it was really funny. The whole thing was hysterical, but it was clearly not serious. A couple of years later, some yoga heads picked it up and handed it to their yoga practice and said, you must sun this part of your body every day for maximum things. And I thought that was pretty funny that they took something that was satire, that was in a comedy website, and decided to make it real. Now we have Tucker Carlson encouraging men to sun their junk so they have more testosterone. I cannot tell you how long and hard I laughed over that. That is the outgrowth of that stupid thing about sunning your butthole every day. So I'm going to be real brief today. Why? Because I slept about 5 hours last night, if at all. I was busy editing most of the night of my book and trying to write a chapter about church hopping because we had so many church hoppers. So I got very little sleep. I got up early. Because the monkeys were making so much noise, there was no way on earth to sleep through it. So I'm going to use a new portion of my videos that I have to thank that troll for. That troll that claims she didn't have a crystal ball. Well, I don't have a crystal ball either. I don't believe in fortune telling. I think it's pretty ridiculous. But I got a magic 8 ball and I can ask this dumb thing questions and get as accurate of answers as everybody else who was using various methods. So, magic 8 ball, am I going to get some to take a nap this afternoon and get some rest? Okay, because I'm old, I'm probably going to have to do this. Yes. Thank you, Magic 8 Ball. I love you. Ooh, I got lipstick all over you, though. Okay, Magic 8 Ball, is this woman on the level, or? That would help if it wasn't so dark. I'm sorry, but I'm blind as a bat. Unclear. Roll again. It's not likely to happen. Well, Magic 8 Ball, if you don't know about that woman, sure in the hell cannot tell if she's real or not, even though I'm about 90% sure that it's a very unfunny satire. I find them very helpful to look more done when you're just not able to give a spoon to hair care. Hair scrunchies and hair slicks equal done. Exactly. And I'm very spooned out today. I'm washing all my bedding. I'm washing that down because last night before I went to bed, I found a little patch of mold in my husband's pillow. This white powdery mold that's been all over my house since I got back. The lady that was supposed to clean my house did not. She left me a note here where I couldn't see it. So my house sat empty for like a month, except for the house sitter who didn't bestir herself to wipe any mold down. It is what it is. I have exactly one thing on my list to do today besides mold abatement. Go pay my telecable bill. Oh, joy. When my hair was black, I like to get black and fun colored ones. Now I got to find pink ones. Yeah. I always buy a lot of hairdo heads when I go to the States, like scrunchies and things. Because here they get them, but it's kind of limited. I went around during COVID trying to find the thicker, not rubber bands, but the thicker hair things you put your ponytail up with, and I couldn't find them because I can't use the thin ones. The thin ones pop like that. I found the thin ones were good to make masks to use as ear loops, but that was about it. So, yesterday I spoke about going real life, and I'm seeing people talking about going real life with this lady, with Gladys, and I just have to say it's a bad idea, always a bad idea. Gladys is claiming that she was working at a United Methodist Church in Boston. I researched her story, and there was no such person by her name working there at all. So I'm sticking with the unfunny parody. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go. I got to lay down, but first I got to go pay this stupid thing by driving the jalopy. Our friend's car is out parked here. It's going to be a jalopy kind of a day. And then I'm coming back to write and work on my stupid book and to think about fundamentalism and all the crazy things that happened at my old church, some of which I'm just now starting to remember, like some of the church hopping that went on and where all they hopped to and from. That to me was fascinating. And it was always over stupid stuff. Like we had one lady that left because she said we were too sinful for her, too sinful and too prideful. So she was going to find better Christians to be around. One guy left because our pastor wanted everybody to buy guns. I thought that was pretty stupid. I didn't participate in that at all, but it happened. Somebody else left because at a community-wide event that was not religious, it was secular, our worship team played a song by Don McLean called Starry, Starry Night about Vincent van Gogh. Just so many silly stuff to do that crap. And you just look at that and you're going, what are they thinking about? I got a new mattress. It took me about 5 hours to get the old ones out, the new one in. Yeah, Brenda Lee, that will do it. For me, it was just that one little spot of mold in here. This room was pretty clean. It was because I sealed it off before I left. And I locked it. That's one thing I like about this house is I have keys for every bedroom door. I can lock the bedrooms off when I go. It's what I did. Okay, I'm going to go. See you later. Love you guys.